live. Can I? Nobody's here yet. When somebody's here, I'm going to ask a volume question. But it is Wednesday, February 24th. I am sitting here and just going to get things rolling here. Ah, I forgot. I always forget. Let me go ahead and do the thing everybody loves to sit through and just say, hey, we're doing this now. We're live. We're going. We're going. So, going to go ahead and refresh these pages. And I'm going to say, now, now we're live. I'm saying this on Blue Sky. And then I'm going to go over to X, the Everything app. And I'm going to say, live now, quote, live now. And I'll say that. And I'll leave Facebook alone. What's up? Hey, I got a new follower. This is great. This is good. Hey man, hey home team game dev, how are you doing today? I got a thank you Harris for following. This is very exciting. I got a little emoji on there. I can't believe it. I'm so happy. I'm just happy that you're here. Thank you so much. Congrats to Harris on the new gig as well. I want to send a nice shout out there. This is really cool. It's good to see everybody on chat. This is very cool. I want to also check, can you all hear me at all? Does it sound okay? Aside from like the badness of my voice and the things that I'm saying, does the audio sound great? Yes, sounding great. Okay. All right. So I'll just let y'all know there might be some noise upstairs. If the noise becomes unbearable, the noise beyond my voice becomes unbearable, it's because, and I'll give you all this a little bit of where I'm at. We got solar installed in 2019. Everything seemed fine until we started seeing leaks in the wall in our bedroom in January. Took about 2 months for the solar people to come out and pick up the panels so that they could we could go and take a look at where things were going on. Um, and in that time, a ton of damage got done to the walls behind the drywall in our bedroom. Mold, soft ass wood all over the place, and a roof that you can basically punch your hand through now. So yeah, we've removed everything. We are in the process of removing everything from our bedroom, every single thing, bed, everything, to go into the wall, tear down basically the entire wall, and see how that goes. So, um, maybe I'll figure out a way to monetize this stream so I can pay for this renovation. Pretty exciting stuff. So anyway, if there's too much noise, let me know. Um, I'm wearing a digital eclipse hat, not to do stolen valor. Obviously, the work that they do is my favorite stuff in the world, but it's because my hair is out of control today, and I haven't gotten a haircut because I've been too busy. So, should I just shut up? Should I shut up and start reading? We got two things to read today. Oh, the other thing I was gonna say, I'm doing like two jobs at work right now. So, if anybody has any good techniques for balancing managing two separate aspects of a team and kind of context switching between the two of them without burning yourself completely into the ground, let me know because it's cool. It's a cool opportunity to be working on the age rating side of things and also now helping out with compliance testing stuff and managing a small group there. But I am so tired. So if anybody has any good ideas for how to balance those things, let me know. Chat in the comments with ways to not burn out. So, all right, I'm going to start with one of two today. We're going punch and kick heavy today. I've got Dark Rift, a well-known N64 classic, and I am actually going to admit to something here, which is that I've never played it. I do own it. I've never played it, but I got it seemed like a good idea to read this manual after listening to the wonderful Flashback 64 episode about it. The folks on there read a little bit of stuff in there, so it just sounded like it had quite a vibe to it. So I'd like to read a little bit of the Dark Rift Nintendo 64, sold by Vic Tokai Inc. And we'll do a little bit of that. A little bit I know about this game is that it actually hits 60 frames per second, one of the few N64 games to do it. So um, I think that's all you need to know about it. It's a masterpiece. We're going to dive into a masterpiece. Some very N64 era character models, which I like. I swear to God, one of these days I'm gonna get used to showing stuff to the camera. Excuse me. And then after that, we'll do Kung Fu. See, that's my look at my little like ring, my donut light. What do they call those? A donut light, ring light, webcam light, streamer light in the background. So, all right, Dark Rift. Let's just go ahead. I am on tenterhooks, getting ready to read about Dark Rift. And oh, we're in luck. There's a lot of reading to do. Again, I haven't read this before. I just sort of know the general vibe of the game, and I am ready. Um, the secret of the prime element. That's how we start. According to legend, when this universe was created, a master key was forged to lock away all ancient secrets and infinite powers the cosmos had to offer. The key was then divided and cast into different circles of reality for safekeeping. These realities are joined together by one way portals, or dark rifts. And the only individual who can possess, or who possesses a piece of the master key, may cross the threshold into the next dimension. Upon crossing, the dark rift will seal itself and disappear. So the stakes are high. It is said that when the pieces of the master key are reunited, the dimensions will converge to reveal the true center of the universe. The point of convergence is known as the vortex. There's going to be a quiz on all this, so keep in mind all these terms. However, only the holder of the entire reforged master key may enter the vortex and claim its immeasurable power. Then it says story. So that's the first part. And now we're getting into the story. So that's just the secret of the prime element. So a little background knowledge. I think it's important to have context before we dive into things. The story, I'm going to need some coffee for this one because there's a lot of story. I'm going to take my hat off. I'm not a hat guy. I like digital eclipse and I don't like what's going on here right now, but maybe I should I'll probably be bald in a few years, so maybe I should just enjoy it while it lasts. It's going all over the place. When the Hyperions accidentally acquired a piece of the master key, now named the core prime element, they've changed the name of it since the first page. They abused its power and proclaimed themselves the chosen ones. After many years of tyrannical rule, their society became morally destitute and internally corrupt. In the midst of this political and social chaos, Sonork Nedzum, Sonork Nezum Sonork Nezum arose as the chosen one's demented emperor. With the help of his sordid followers, Sonork enslaved the mass populace, murdered any possible opposition, and claimed the core prime element as his own. Classic Sonork move. For many years, the chosen one's malevolent rule was noted throughout the universe, and while many desired the core prime element, only one entity sought the prize with vigilant fervor. Demetron, the Lord Demon of the Dark Dimension, waited until the time was right to demand the invaluable prize from the envied chosen ones. When Sonork Nezum, Sonork, Sonork Nezum, I'm really struggling. When Sonork Nezum came into power, Demetron knew his chance had come. In an effort to retrieve the core prime element and assassinate Sonork, Demetron sent his most hideous servant, Demonica Gkrou. Demonica Gkrou, Gkrous. I'm open to pronunciation. Demonica Gkrou. Sonorknesm sent Demonica Gkrou, I've lost my place, through the dimensional portal to do his bidding. When the archdemon Demonica failed her mission to murder Sonork, she unhesitatingly exchanged secret information for her life. She told Sonork that, aside from his core prime element, there were at least two other known pieces of the master key. Demonica also revealed that while the light prime element's location had never been discovered, the dark prime element was embedded in her Lord Master's head. Dun, dun, dun. After listening to Demonica's tale, Sonork resolved to procure the light prime element and combine its powers with the core prime element already in his possession. He reasoned that if he had two pieces of the master key, his powers would be so ominous that he would be able to seize Dimitrin's dark prime element effortlessly. So that's the story. So far, we have the Hyperions, the Chosen Ones, Sonork Nezum, Demonica Gakru, and another guy, Dimitrin, the Lord Demon of the Dark Dimension. We've got a lot of characters here. That brings us to the tournament. We get to learn a little bit about the tournament itself. Um, because warriors from around the universe have continuously failed in their attempt to obtain the core prime element and usurp Sonork, he is confident that there is no being who can overpower him in this dimension. In this dimension. With this belief, Sonork has created the most lethal and prestigious battle, the tournament. It's just that's it. The tournament is capitalized. Using his piece of the master key as the ultimate prize, Sonork is confident that the holder of the light or the prime light element will be lured to his realm. When he battles the desired holder and secures the light prime element, Sonork plans to challenge the formidable Dimitrin and ascend to absolute and universal supremacy. Usurp Sonork. Usurp Sonork. You know you need to usurp Sonork. Uh, the tongue twister. The tongue twister is provided by Dark Rift. So we've got a lot going on there. We have a lot to have, and I can't tell whether Sonork is the good guy or the bad guy. All things being equal, it seems like there's shades of gray in terms of morality in this universe. There's a Dark Rift warranty and response card that if anybody here lives in Los Angeles, in the greater Los Angeles region, the South Bay potentially, go ahead and take a look and see whether Vic Tokai Incorporated is still located at 22904 Loch Ness Avenue in Torrance, California, 90501. Go to Torrance. And oh, I like this. The first slot is for your name, and it says name of gamer. That's me. Name of gamer. Birth date of gamer. Who purchased this software? Option H is gamer. How did you hear about this software? Unfortunately, there's no option for other gamer, just a friend. Let's see, what other magazines are we reading? EGM, Computer Gaming World, Game Pro, all the usual. I like that. Die Hard Game Fan, Next Gen. Um, do we own any other systems? Just the Saturn, the PlayStation, or the PC? Yeah, so describe your PC if you own one. Non-Pentium, Pentium 60 to 90, or Pentium 100 or better? How would we answer that in the year 2024? And if you own a PC, the devices that you own are either a 3D accelerator card, a Gravis Gamepad Pro, or a different gamepad. The options were pretty simple back then. So now we've got some characters now that we filled out the Vic Tokai warranty card and sent it in on behalf of myself, the gamer. We have some characters to go through. And this is, as always, the best part of fighting games, as far as I'm concerned. I'm actually going to take a quick break here. I have been looking at, so the way that I do this is I just sort of like take a quick peek at manuals just to make sure that there aren't, a lot of like, there's at least something to read in them, but I don't go through them. And I found that a lot of Capcom games from like the PlayStation, Dreamcast era don't have a lot. So I'm going to send a cheers to the people who made Dark Rift for putting the effort into it, and jeers to the people at Capcom and the Dreamcast era for not giving us a whole lot of story context to hang our hats on. So, but we get to find out characters, fighting tactics. We're going to learn first about a character named Aaron Maverick. Aaron Maverick. Aaron is a weapons and explosives expert, and the MFG 16 is one hell of a gun that never leaves his side. While Aaron is a master in karate, he has a special affection for projectile weaponry. Without a doubt, he's a one-man killing machine. Then we've got Demonica Gakru. Gakru. She is very scary. Demonica Gakru. Curious if that's a stage name, or if her parents named her Demonica because it seems pretty fitting. If Demonica's grotesque physical appearance, doesn't ward off challengers, they will experience a bizarre and horrific battle. They're going to experience a bizarre and horrific battle. Some of Demonica's favorite long range weapons are the flaming breath tactic and the fiery projectile pelvic thrust. Her crouching, animalistic fighting style employs a frenzy of attack leaps, neck and face biting, and poisonous body clawing. Uh, Demonica Crew and her fiery projectile pelvic thrust. Then we got Eve. We got Eve, who seems like maybe a little bit more reasonable than Demonica Crew, certainly more pronounceable. Eve's neural network is a virtual library of military tactics and combat skills. I guess she's an AI. Nevertheless, she prefers the classic technique of fencing. Yeah, T rating in question. You know what? I'm gonna take a quick look here. They did have a T, so they got to be a little careful here. And the T is teen for animated violence. There's no themes. There's no suggestive themes. There's no language descriptor on the back of that. And this manual has the word hell in it, which in the USA is a descriptor worthy word. Then we've got gore. Gore's fighting technique employs basic brute physical force. He can wield his massive battle axe with unbelievable ease. While this is Al Gore. Yep, he created the internet and then he went on to the tournament in Dark Rift. While his body is a huge, cumbersome mass, I feel that, he is extremely powerful and will pulverize any opponent within reach. The falling tree technique emphasizes his weighty momentum and allows his deadly spin slash attacks to do the most damage. Well, then we've got Morphix. Morphix looks like a kind of a cool character. I can't tell whether that's fire or ice, but Morphix's fighting style is quite unusual. He's similar to a huge food processor. I wasn't prepared for that. He's similar to a huge food processor. His arms turn into blades and spin him around at amazing speeds. Morphix's physical structure is also quite different from other humanoids. He's multi jointed and unnaturally flexible. Because of the peculiar fighting technique, his attacks are unpredictable and difficult to defend. We got Nikki. Hello, Nikki. Nikki has been trained to fight by the best instructors in the expectation that one day she will succeed her father. Inverse kinematics is a defensive fighting technique invented and specifically designed for Nikki. Inverse kinematics. IK applies the principles of balance and leverage to transpose the strength, weight, and momentum of the opponent against himself. Nikki has also been trained in a series of leap attacks that can prove to be very deadly. Then Scarlet Zerai. Scarlet Zerai. Scarlet, like her ancestors, shuns all technological advancements and retains a great fondness for classic weapons such as her sword. The traditional dragon slayer technique Scarlet employs is deadly and more than compensates for her weaker lower body. Despite their appearance, the dragon slayer sword and shield are extremely light and razor sharp. Heavy down chops and up thrusts are all typical of the classic moves Scarlet frequently manipulates. And then we've got Zenmuron, who's doing a big kick. I love Zenmuron. Because no one has battled against Zenmuron and lived, his fighting technique will remain a mystery until he's either conquered or he's the champion of the core prime element. He kind of runs hot and cold. It is only then that his intentions will be evident. So we have a questionable guy. But finally, we get to learn a little bit about Sonorknesm. We have to usurp Sonork. Sonork's sociopathic tendencies make him one of the most treacherous opponents. He actually enjoys killing. He actually enjoys killing, pillaging, and general destruction. His enhanced manufactured trade in body parts are quite powerful, and when used in battle, deadly. The upgraded Gatling plasma rifle arm with attached fork blades combined with his bionic leg are a serious threat to any opponent. Sonork has quite a thing there. The upgraded Gatling plasma rifle arm with attached fork blades combined with his bionic leg. I like he actually enjoys killing. The manual is just scandalized. We are scandalized by how bad and just rude Sinork Nesm is. So that's Dark Rift. I didn't read the back of the box. I'll read the back of the box here in a quick second, but I do want to call out that yet again, because of the era that we're in, we get some credits. Thank you to the team that did this. And I also want to make sure I'm being clear when I read these manuals and we're having fun with them, it's because I really genuinely enjoy the tone and effort and love that's put into these. So this is not snarky by any stretch. I really genuinely love it. And I love to be able to see the folks who are involved in it. The game was developed by Kronos Digital Entertainment. Executive producer was Stan Liu, and Albert Coe is the producer and art director. Let's go ahead and find out, see if we see anybody. I'm trying to see. Do we have motion capture actors? John Pike for a bunch of them. Ted Warnock, Sandy Christensen, and Bing Cantos. Character design, John Pike. This game seems like it was made by like maybe like 12 or 15 people. Uh-oh. I have I have a demerit to bestow upon Kronos Digital and Vic Tokai. The demerit is that I don't think that there's any quality assurance testers in here. So we got a manual full of a lot of people, and yet unlike most of the manuals we've been reading of this era, there's no quality assurance testers in here whatsoever. So, gonna gonna send Sonork after you, Vic Tokai in Torrance, California, for leaving out the quality assurance, the QA team. So that's happening. That's the end of Dark Rift. I'll go ahead and take a look at the back of the box. Maybe there's something to read there. Maybe we can get some more information about Sonork. Oh, yep, we got good stuff here. Dark Rift, it says, more fight, more often. Dark Rift, the famous catchphrase, Dark Rift, more fight, more often. Dark Rift delivers hyperactive 3D fighting with a sci fi theme. Compete against 8 exotic and powerful characters and 2 very large bosses. Who fight too often. That's right. Uh, Motion captured characters animations enhance the realism. The arsenal includes multiple hit combos, back crunching grabs, juggles, projectiles, and punishing special moves. Tune into individual character stereo soundtracking. Dark Rift's ultra high frame rate ensures fast animations. That's true. That's the 60 frames per second. Kind of surprised that's all the way down there. Fight in tournaments, 2 player, or training modes. So Dark Rift, more fight, more often. That's Dark Rift, and that's a heck of a lot of stuff. Our next game is probably going to be quicker than that. I'm going to be honest. I sort of just picked this one out because it's a game that I just love. And I know that a lot of people don't have the same fondness that I do for the launch window NES game Kung Fu. But this is one of those games that I remember seeing at a friend's house before I had a Nintendo. And almost as much, if not more, than Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, I was like, I have to have this. I need this thing. I love this game. And I do to this day. I know that it's simple. I know that it's unfair and cheap and cruel, but uh, but God, do I love this. One of my friends just posted the link to the Switch channel in our group chat. Now I'm scared. David, you can join the Twitch chat, but I'm scared of everybody else joining it. Okay, so we're gonna quickly read. We're gonna quickly read. We're gonna quickly read Kung Fu. Um, Ooh, all right. There's a link in the chat here. I don't know. Is there a way to like pin things? I would like to have this here. Home Team Game Dev says some of the freeware game makers I worked with created Kung Tu inspired by this game, and there's a link to the itch channel in there. Everybody go check that out. I'm gonna go check that out after this. I'm actually gonna go ahead and check it out. Oh boy, we got giant fan here. Can you stream Elden Ring after? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Do they have a manual? Do they have a manual? I'm being challenged by my friend who popped in. Uh, so yes, I will. I'll stream Elden Ring. I will just need the community to pitch in and buy me a PC that can do that because this computer barely works. I actually can't really use the buttons on here because once, at the peak of the pandemic, I spilled cider on it, and now the buttons in the middle and say F, G, V, those buttons, they just don't work. So We're gonna move on to Kung Fu before we get to Elden Ring. We'll see if we can cram in some Elden Ring before my 9:30 meeting. But we're gonna do Kung Fu. I'll read the back of the box, and I also want to call out the mastery of taking these photos from a screen. I love it. Bring back that type of screen. Kick, jump, and punch your way to victory in Kung Fu. You'll need, and Kung Fu has like an asterisk at the end of it, and I've never quite understood why. What's the asterisk? Left hand, left hand. There we go. So I rewire my brain to do that backwards. I don't know why there's an asterisk, but anyway, Kung Fu asterisk. You'll need lightning fast reactions to knock out the knife thrower, stop the stick fighter, and trip up the evil Tom Tom brothers in this action-packed martial arts contest. Are you sure you're tough enough? You sure you're tough enough? Because it'll take all your strength and skill to master the moves in Kung Fu. Beat your opponents and rescue the fair Sylvia, who's been held captive on the top floor. The action is nonstop, and just when you think you've got your enemies licked, there's always a giant, a snake, or a fire breathing dragon to contend with in Kung Fu. Um, kind of glad we got away from the habit of referring to beating enemies as licking them. I think that's something that we can leave in the 1980s. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Mmm, cold. Okay, I don't really know what's in here. I just really like this. Again, I've said this a million times. One day I'm going to get another camera. I'm going to clean off this desk. I'll get another camera so I can show pictures from the manuals because some of these NES manuals have very cool art and not a lot of words. I think Bayou Billy is probably the key, the primary one there. There's just a lot of cute little stuff here. They did the hand drawn pixel art. Not gonna show. But they did the hand drawn pixel art thing where they make it look all chunky, like they did in a Cracked magazine or Mad magazine when they draw a video game. We get characters, so we don't get a lot of story, but we do get a lot of character bios. So I'm gonna read the character bios. I will spare you the compliance with FCC regulations, but we've got a bunch of different characters here. I'm gonna show them all to you at once, and maybe I'll show them again here. Space Astro Cat says there was supposed to be a sequel to Kung Fu, but I don't think it ever got released, or maybe it did under a different name. I could see that because this was an IRAM game, right? Like this wasn't a Nintendo game. This was an IRAM game that was in the arcades and then got ported to the Nintendo by Nintendo, I think. And then so maybe there was a sequel that that came out under something else. I think this is one of those games that if you gave it to a like a creative indie developer and gave them just a little bit of budget, they could make something really cool here. And I think again, I want to call out the Kung Tu in the chat there, hometeamgamedev.itch.io/Kung Tu. We'll definitely go check that out. So yes, so maybe there is a new version that we can go look at. Anyway, getting distracted. The coffee's throwing me off. We got characters. I'm gonna read some characters. We got Thomas in parentheses for some reason, a steely kung fu expert. He has mastered the art of powerful punches, sharp kicks, and well timed jump kicks. The player must decide which techniques to use and when. That's up to the gamer to do. Sylvia. Just a picture. Sylvia, in all of her agency in the game, is the picture of her is her tied up to a chair. So maybe along with leaving the term licked in the 1980s, we'll leave women tied up in chairs in the 1980s as well. Sylvia, captured by the mysterious gang X. She is being held captive at the top of their castle. She feverishly awaits her rescue by Thomas. So she's being held captive in the castle of X. So someone needs to go to Market and 10th Street in San Francisco and rescue Sylvia in the old Twitter building. The enemies, Stick Fighter, first floor boss. It tells you to. Stick Fighter is the first floor boss, dangerous to approach unprepared as he whirls his stick around. 2,000 points. You get to learn how much you earn for killing these people. The giant, third floor boss, as strong as Hercules. His movements are slow, but his powerful is enormous. Watch out for that killer punch. Hey, dude, he's worth 3,000 points. Then there's the Boomerang Fighter. He's the second floor boss. Oh, I'm reading this out of order. He's the second floor boss. Sorry, but that's why. Okay, he throws Boomerang Fighter. He throws boomerangs. Work out the flying pattern of the boomerangs. 3,000 points. So, not to surprise you too much with a spoiler, but the boomerang fighter throws boomerangs. Then the black magician, the fourth floor boss. He can grow back parts of his body and perform other amazing tricks. It's like he can clap with one hand, he can throw his voice, and he can grow back parts of his body. He can even grow another head when severed. Just what kind of attack will work on him? 5,000 points. I'm going to hazard a guess that the attack that will work on him is punching and kicking. The gang leader, Mr. X. He's the fifth floor boss. Master of the martial arts, he's the strongest man in the castle. As he uses all techniques, fighting with him is a deadly contest. I can't read anymore. I'm too scared. Mr. X is worth 10,000 points. There are regular opponents named Knife Thrower. He throws knives aimed right at Thomas. You get 500 points for kicking him, 800 points for punching him, and a jump kick is worth 1,000 points. The Gripper. Oh, that's the guys in this game who just walk at you and hold on to you. They're called the Gripper. Lots of them come to get Thomas. No specific techniques. The game manual is disappointed in the Gripper. Kick, 100 points. Punch, 200 points. Jump kick, 200 points. And then Tom Toms. They come to get Thomas. They are liable to turn in midair and attack. Kick, 200 points. Punch, 300 points. So we've got the knife thrower, the gripper, and the Tom Toms. You also get other enemies, which are just things that fall from the sky here, things that show up. I'll read these really quick. Uh, Dragon Ball. That seems like maybe we should get a quick legal check. Drops from the ceiling. Kick, punch, 3 question mark points. You can only find out by playing the game. The dragon itself attacks by breathing fire. Before it can do so, attack with kick, punch. Confetti ball drops from the ceiling. Before it can burst, attack with kick, punch. There's a theme. Snake basket drops from the ceiling. Do you remember the snake basket? If it lands on the ground, it'll become a snake. Kick, punch, question mark points. The snake itself emerges from the snake basket, jump to avoid being bitten. I don't think you can hit it. I think you have to avoid it. And then the poisonous moth. When it comes flying towards you, attack with kick, 500 points, punch, 600 points. Some quick tool tips they tell you. Beware. Every time Thomas is attacked, his energy is weakened. If his energy runs out, it's the end of Thomas. If the timer runs out, and it says time 0000, it's the end of Thomas. So you want to make sure it's not the end of Thomas. If your score reaches 50,000 points, you get another player. So there we go. That is that is Kung Fu. That's Kung Fu. That went faster than I thought it would, honestly. So I don't know. I guess I haven't planned for anything else here, so maybe we'll just call it a day. I'll go up to I'll go up to the bedroom and see how cool it's looking to have everything basically out of it and have the walls completely off and see where that goes. Um, let's see here. I'm gonna try to go back into chat and see if I can read any of these things because I'm struggling. I'm having a little struggle sesh today. But yes, there was. I can't scroll properly. There we go. Um, Home Team Game Dev a little while back says martial arts game characters in the 1980s were like science fiction planets in the 1970s, each with only and exactly one purpose each. That is exactly right. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. You gotta be a specialist. If you're gonna make it in the castle of X, you got to be a specialist. And so if you're going to be a grabber, commit to being a grabber. Don't be a grabber and a knife thrower. I think we all know that. That's just the way to market. That's how you're marketable. I don't know what to tell you. And then yes, so yeah, fear the man who practices one kick 10,000 times. Old Bruce Lee quote taken to the extreme. That is the vibe that we're going for. I think I think that's it. I think we'll do that today. Um, Thanks for popping in. I'm gonna try next time to mix it up a little bit. Maybe having two fighting games in the same go was a bit exhausting, especially after uh, the texture that is um, Dark Rift. So let's do this again sometime soon. Thank you for everybody who joined. Thanks for chatting, and see you all around on the internet. Yeah, yeah. One was a bit more extreme, the other a bit more genre-ific. I think that might be a good way to put it. That's a good way to think about it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Thanks for hanging out. It was fun. And see everybody at another time. All right, bye-bye.